Welcome back to Hardly Minding My Business. I'm your girl Dash, and we are back. Listen, I said that I am trying to keep it consistent, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I'm here. This is going to be a quick pod. It's not going to be as long as it normally is because I actually have to record the other pod. I started this very late. So I'm going to try to do the best I can to run through these topics without rushing too much. But yeah, your girl is back for another week. I mean, it has been a week. I will say work is first week back of work after 2 months of not being at work is a lot. Okay. But I'm grateful. I'm employed. I am thriving. I am thriving. So we're good. We're good here. So yeah, let's get into it because I don't have a lot of time. So there's not much, Anyway, let's talk about petty or not. Here's the thing, right? I feel like this is none of my business at this juncture. However, I do have opinions and I just have opinions. So we're going to have to deal with my opinions. Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at here. So here's the thing. I'm going to ask a question. I'm not going to make a declarative statement, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to give too much. But what I will say is this is about marriage proposals. Okay? Now, whatever you do is your business. Let's make that clear. Like, I understand that right now, hardly minding my business. Totally understand. But that's why we're here, right? So whatever you do is your business. Please feel free to do what you want to do. But I do have a question. When people do those proposals where there's like the big block letters, a lot of times it'll just say "marry me," because I'm sure the letters are expensive. I mean, them big ass balloons with the numbers and the letters are expensive. So them block letters with the lights, them marquee letters, gotta be expensive. I imagine putting together something like this is probably pricey. I mean, and you know what, you want it to be good. So I'm not mad at anybody spending money to make sure that the proposal gives what it's supposed to give. But I do have a question because I've been thinking about this and I'm like, all right, I get that in this day and age, like the jig is up, right? Like we know that these couples, people probably know they're going to be proposed to at some point, right? My question is, does it have to be that on the nose? Does it have to be that on the nose where the words, like as soon as you walk into your proposal, marry me is there? And I ask this question because I just wonder, again, just speculating. I just wonder, does it take away from the speech of it all? Does it kind of help the person who really isn't like good at speeches? Because I don't have to say too much because the display says what it needs to say. Like either marry me or will you marry me or whatever it says, me plus you forever, whatever it says. I'm just wondering because that is so on the nose to me. I feel like it's a premature surprise reveal. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Because again, there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just thinking, you walking in and you're not really sure what's happening. And then you see marry me. He ain't even get down on a knee and ask you a question yet. Shouldn't the question come first? That's my question. I just have questions about it. I didn't say I shouldn't be doing it. I didn't say anything like that. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I'm not trying to be a hater, so don't come for me. I'm just asking questions because I'm just like, all right, you're like in the zone and you're there and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, it's like you don't even get I love the idea of the speech that happens before the question. I just feel like the question is coming first in this situation, and I don't know how I feel about that. What do y'all think? Y'all see why it's a petty or not? Because it's none of my business, but I'm just wondering. Like, I'm sure every person loves being like their mom. If you want to be proposed to, you probably love it. And I assume that your person knows you well enough to know whether you want the words out there like that or not. It's become very trendy to do this. I saw one the other day and I said, "Oh, that's nice. It was beautiful." But then I was like, I wonder, how does that, how does that go exactly? What do we think about that exactly? I just, I'm wondering, speculating. That's all. Just speculating. But that's my petty or not. It's only petty because I'm sure some people will say, what is her concern here? And you're right. It don't got nothing to do with me. You go do whatever it is, makes you happy, makes you comfortable. I just wanted to ask the question. And I feel like I'm allowed to ask questions. So I did. Anyway, what else we got? Whew. All right. Tyrese is looking for Mary J. Blige. What the hell is wrong with Tyrese? I don't understand. Here's the thing. Tyrese been a nuisance, okay? Tyrese is one of those people that you probably, have to mute his calls because I can't speak to you right now, Tyrese. I can't speak to you right now. Now, apparently, him and Mary J. Blige are cool. As far as I know, there's no beef. They have some sort of relationship. I don't know how deep that relationship goes. However, according to Tyrese, and we're going to take this with a grain of salt because I feel like everything Tyrese says or does should be taken with a grain of salt. He claims that like Mary is his girl and they cool and whatnot, and he been calling Mary's line and Mary ain't been picking up. He said he got something for her. He got something for them. I assume that it's music, which is fine. Listen, Tyrese is a talented man. Tyrese is an amazing R&B singer. He's also annoying. And something tells me that Tyrese is that dude that, when you see him calling, you kind of have to take a breath. You kind of have to give it an exhale and then, tap in when you're ready. Or like you need to like be mentally prepared to speak to him. So you probably not actually speaking to him, as soon as the phone rings. You probably need a couple days, a couple hours, maybe even a couple weeks before you actually answer the phone or call him back because you know that you got to get your head right to talk to somebody like Tyrese. That is what I imagine happens with Tyrese. So I don't know why Mary isn't answering his calls, but what I do know is that he got his black ass on the internet so he could talk about the fact that he couldn't reach Mary, and he wanted the public to know. He wanted people to know that he was looking for Mary, and if anybody knew how to reach Mary, they should let her know that he is trying to reach her. I'm not sure how to take Tyrese sometimes because my guess is he means well. But this is ridiculous, Tyrese. You telling me there was no other way of getting through to her? Like, have my people call your people? That means something. You don't have people who can reach out to her people. So it's less abrasive. Like, maybe assistant to assistant or manager to manager, something. Tyrese gotta stop. I bet you Mary is hiding. First of all, Mary is tired. We know Mary is tired. We've been seeing the videos. Don't come for me. I know y'all seen the videos of Mary, and I love Mary down, okay? Love me some Mary. And them thighs in the boots. But Mary is tired. And I imagine if Mary is tired performing, Mary is probably tired of hearing from Tyrese. Because Tyrese ain't easy. We can see that. We don't need to know him. We know him enough. So, maybe he should try a different approach. I don't know, but please leave our girl Mary alone. Let her be, because she's clearly looking to be right now. She's like, when is this tour over? Because I don't have it for y'all. I simply do not have it for y'all. And sometimes you don't have it. Sometimes you don't have it. It be like that. It really do be like that. Anyway, there's some really random stuff going on right now. Barack Obama made an appearance on Michelle Obama and her, I don't remember his name. I don't want to get his name wrong, but her and her brother have a podcast. I spoke about this last week. Well, I spoke about the fact that Barack Obama was on the podcast last week, IMO. But what we didn't speak about was the fact that I guess guests when they go on, they can give their most controversial opinion, since the podcast is called In My Opinion. And our 44 decided to say that his most controversial opinion is actually one that is shared with his family, that his family knows, that other people do not know, but he decided to share it with the public. And he declared that ketchup shouldn't be eaten after the age of 8. Okay, sir. I hear you. I mean, I love ketchup. I'm never going to stop eating ketchup, especially not because Barack Obama said so. But it did make me think. Well, first of all, let me tell y'all what he said. So he said, no ketchup after the age of 8. He feels you should outgrow it. So you could just not eat ketchup. You could just say you don't like ketchup, and you could just not eat it. I also think that, as a politician, he knows that he can't come out. I mean, he's not running for anything, but if you're trying to maintain diplomacy, you probably don't want to come out and say you don't like ketchup at all. It's probably just easier to say something silly like this. But I'm going to give my most controversial food opinion right now, because I felt inspired by this gentleman. And I know this is controversial. I know people will be confused. I know people will rage against what I'm about to say. But ever since I was a child, I hate butter. I think butter is hell. Butter is gross. Now, hear me out. I realize that certain things need to be cooked with butter. It just either makes it better, or it's just a part of the recipe or whatever. So I do cook with butter, but you will never find me spreading it on toast, putting a dollop on a pancake. I don't even know, put it on bread at a restaurant. I'm never doing that. It's very, very rare. Very rare occasions, okay? So I consider myself, I think it's reasonable to say that I'm a foodie. I love food. I love trying new restaurants. I love trying new foods. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a couple food allergies, and I do have a few things I just will not eat. But for the most part, I'm good. So there have been times where I have tried butter for the plot, but it can't be like plain regular butter. Anyway, this is a very long-winded explanation of my most controversial food opinion, but I thought this was necessary because, I mean, I had to do it. I had to say it, because ketchup, I was like, all right, I don't like that he doesn't like ketchup. I mean, he can dislike whatever he dislikes, but I was just like, oh, I'm a big lover of ketchup. Give me all the ketchup on my fries. I'm one of those people who pour it on. But butter, that's nasty. Nasty. Anyway, oh, I should have started the show with this. But I did want to acknowledge the fact that Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away this week. Very sad news. I've been thinking about this all week since it happened. Um, we talked about it a bit on weeknights this week, but I did want to mention it here just because I don't know. I'm still very struck by the fact that he's no longer with us, and I also didn't realize some of his accolades and some of his talents. I didn't even remember that he was a musician, but he has multiple albums that have been out. He's won so many awards, and he did so much in his short life that I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that he has passed on. We as a culture absolutely appreciate him and his contribution. Much love to his family and prayers to everyone close to him. May he rest in peace. All right. I'm gonna have to take a break and then come back to the episode because I have to record weeknights now. So yeah, bye. Two more things before we go. Tracy Ellis Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross has a show coming out on Roku. I don't know if it's out yet because I don't really totally understand the Roku of it all and how that works. I've never watched like a Roku channel or anything like that. I assume that it functions just like Apple TV or something like that. I'm not sure. I have to look into that because I absolutely want to see this show. She is going to be talking about her traveling. She does a lot of solo travel. And so this show is her just showing her life on the road, traveling, flying to wherever she goes. And, she gives travel tips and she talks about her experiences. And she went viral a few days ago because she said she did an interview where she said that she takes two pairs of underwear and she rewashes them. And people were in an uproar. People said she's nasty. People said this is meaning she takes two pairs of underwear on vacation. People called her nasty. People said all kinds of things. She even showed her routine. I thought it was really cool that someone like her, who's as famous as she is and who has as much money as she probably has, that she was showing us how she washes her underwear, like hand washes her underwear in the sink, and what she uses and what she does and how she dries them. People were actually really interested in that because she put it on social media. And then people were in an uproar about this. She actually had to come out and say, hey guys, I was talking about the underwear that I put in my carry-on. I put two pairs of underwear in my carry-on, and that's what I use. Now, I just want to point something out. It's okay to wash your panties and wear them again. I'm not really sure what else to say about that. Do y'all wear a new pair of underwear every time you put one on? Because why is this woman hand washing her underwear disgusting to you? Some of y'all overpack and then it's hell to put things back into your suitcase and all kinds of things like that. Why are you mad at this woman? She says she washes it. Now I could understand if the lady said that she wears the panties and then just puts them right back on after she takes a shower. Then I would be like, oh girl, you nasty. Okay. And how do you not have infections? But that is not what was happening here, and I just felt like, we missed something here? Like, uh, are y'all doing like? First of all, your underwear, your lingerie, your bras, your panties, those are hand washable items. Why do y'all think it's nasty? Like, I just don't. What is the confusion here? Is it that it's only two? Because I could see if you're away for a month and you only have two pairs of underwear, that might not be the ideal situation. So I get that. But if I bring underwear and I am washing them, why can't I put them back on? What is the, I don't understand. Like, I think that the internet has made everybody stupid. Truly. Because what does this even mean? I just don't even understand. Like, let's get it together. Y'all and your overpacking asses. And y'all who just don't even, some of y'all ain't even been on a plane, which is fine. But then don't judge that lady. It's just, it's giving inexperienced. It's giving excess. It's giving that a lot of you just don't understand what minimalism is, and you think that excess is the solution to everything. And I understand. People want things in abundance. Fine. Let's get off that lady and her panties. Also, I saw, if you look for it, there's the video that she actually did where she shows you how she does it. She had tons of pairs of underwear. For what it's worth. And for those who need proof, she had tons of pairs of underwear that she was laying out. She was showing how she washes them and whatnot. And the funny thing that I thought, and I thought was really interesting, which is also like very much me, is most of her underwear is black. And some of them look like the same pair, just, she bought multiples of the same pair, which I do as well, because black is just so easy. Black is good for every day. Black is good if you're trying to be sexy. Black always works. It goes with all the other black stuff. So, bra black, your panties automatically match. I mean, listen, not too much on Tracee Ellis Ross. Protect her at all costs because she is such a gem. And I love that she's going to be sharing her gems with us. I think this is perfect for her because Tracee Ellis Ross is the perfect combination of charisma, wit, style, culture. And that's that on that. There is very little you could tell me about Tracee Ellis Ross where I won't defend her. So I don't play about her. I just don't. Anyway, we got to move on. The last thing I'm going to talk about is really just my tweet of the week, because I have to go. So, so this is from Shape of Your Feelings on Instagram. This is kind of long but kind of short. It's work out, do skincare, smell nice, drink water, make money, be nice to people, mind your business. And the only thing I would add to that is hardly, because sometimes it just be like that. Okay? That's why we're all here, right? Mostly mind your business, but sometimes hardly mind your business. Good balance is important. Anyway, I thought that was perfect because I think that I am in my reset era and reset and recharge. And I think that is a good, very clear and concise way to look at what needs to be done and what I am focusing on right now. So I hope that found you, whoever you are, and, touched you in some way or made you think about things that you want to do for yourself. And on that note, I am going to get out of here and I will see y'all next week.